Hi, my name is Ruth. I'm 19. I'm from South London, but I study in Bristol and I identify as a non-binary lesbian. I grew up in a very Christian household and that really sort of impacted how I grew up and the views I formed. So I started off being very ignorant of LGBT people. It sounds really silly, but I didn't actually know they existed, to the point where we got given a questionnaire when I was at primary school. So it was like, would you feel comfortable having a gay teacher? And genuinely, I didn't know what gay was. So I just asked my friend next to me, like, oh, okay, what's a gay person? Like, what is that? And they sort of said, oh, that's someone that's wrong and a bit disgusting. So that was sort of the first time I'd ever heard about an LGBT person, and that was sort of what I took away from it. And then I went home and was like, hi, Mum. So I heard about a gay person, like, what is a gay person? And she pretty much said the same thing. She said they go against God, they're wrong, they're disgusting. I personally find them abhorrent. That was what I took away. And as a child, I think you start off as a blank canvas and you sort of absorb ideas from the people around you, the people who you grew up with. And that was my first takeaway. And then every time I went to church, whenever gay/LGBT issues came up, it was always the same thing, like gay people, trans people, bi people, that they're all wrong to God. So genuinely, that formed my, what I'd say is homophobic views when I was a kid. And that was never challenged when I was at primary school. So when I was at primary school, the word gay was a slur. If anyone had done something wrong, it's like, oh, you're so gay and all of that. So it's sort of my homophobic views were allowed to stay within me unchallenged. And then, yeah, it was sort of amplified by church, by the young people in the church, all having the same views as me. But then I went to secondary school, and you meet a wider range of people. People are older, people are starting to find themselves. And so my friend came out as bisexual, and I felt, because of my beliefs that had been sort of forced into me as a kid, I felt very uncomfortable. I never outwardly judged them, and I'm very thankful for that, but internally I sort of felt this was wrong and was judging them. Like, I felt very prejudiced, lots of prejudice towards them, which I know is wrong. But then a lot more of my friends started coming out, started discovering their gender, discovering their sexuality as you grow up, as you do when you grow up. I started to feel my views started to be sort of challenged by sort of them being who they were. And some of them started to question me because they knew I'd grown up in a very Christian household, sort of saying like, okay, so you're Christian, therefore you must not be okay with my identity. And I was like, well, yeah, that's what I've been told. God says it's wrong. And through them questioning me, I came to the conclusion that these beliefs are not my own. These beliefs are what I sort of picked up from my environment. And then I sort of had a moment of realization and began to sort of think and go, no, I actually want to form my own belief. And then from that point onwards, I was like, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you're gay. Gay people are amazing. There's nothing wrong about them. How can God think they're wrong? And that was sort of a moment where I changed. And my externalized homophobia stopped. And I'm very thankful for that. But because of the environment and because it's been sort of drummed into me from a very young age, I still had leftover internalized homophobia. I didn't realize that, in my church, whenever gay people were like cast in church, I would sort of stand up and be like, no, it's wrong. Like, God says love everyone. But when I was 15, I realized I was gay. And then it sort of hit me that I couldn't deal with me being gay. I didn't care how other people identified, but when it came to myself, I couldn't be gay, and I hated the fact I was gay because my environment led to that, and it was so hard for me to let go of my internalized homophobia. And now I'd say I'm very proud to be gay. I'm very happy that I'm gay, and I feel very comfortable in myself, but it took a very long time for me to get to that stage because it's not just a belief that you've come to thinking for yourself, it's your entire environment and the belief that has been given to you from a very young age, and I just found it really hard to let go of that. And I'd say it just sort of shows that environment is so important. An LGBT person can grow up in a homophobic background and end up being homophobic, and that can have a long-lasting impact on their own mental health and how they feel towards themselves. Yeah, I'd say I now recognise the importance of having a really sort of growing up in a really accepting environment, and I just wish I had that.